Hi, my name is Janice, Fitness and Sports Instructor at CFB Kingston. Today I'm going to be taking you through a yoga session to help elongate and lengthen the spine, aid in digestion. It is a pretty intense rotational class today, so if you do have any kind of back pain or issues, I do recommend ensuring that you have medical clearance before starting the class. And if you experience any pain or issues during and you are a military member, please ensure that you fill out a CF98 and head to get checked out. So you are going to need a bolster or a long foam roller or even a pillow for one portion of the mobility section at the beginning of the yoga session today. Alright, so we are going to get started. I'm going to have you facing the short end of the mat, bending those knees, sitting up nice and tall, grabbing a hold behind one foot, lifting it up off the ground, rolling back onto your back. So elongating that spine on the ground, you're going to bring the feet to the outer edge of the mat and just drop the knees in towards each other. Allowing the hands to relax, the body to relax, as we start to bring our focus inward into our practice. You can close your eyes here, and we'll begin focusing on our three-part breathing. On the inhale, feeling the belly rise as it fills with air, the chest, the ribs, and the chest falls, the ribs fall, and the belly falls on the exhale. Inhale, belly rises, ribs rise, chest rises. Exhale, chest falls, ribs fall, belly falls. Continuing with your own breath, bringing that focus inward. We'll continue to breathe comfortably, filling that belly, ribs, chest, exhaling, emptying the chest, the ribs, and the belly. As you bring your focus inward, leaving all the cares and worries of your day so far off the mat. If you would like to set an intention for today's practice, now would be the time to do so. going to open those knees back up again and pull them in towards the chest, just giving them a little squeeze here. You can keep your eyes closed or open them if you'd like. Then bringing the hands to the kneecaps. We're going to start rotating those knees in a clockwise direction. Just giving that low back a little massage. And then reversing and going in the counterclockwise direction. Good. We'll just drop those feet back to the floor. Here's where we'll grab that pillow, bolster, or foam roller. We're going to bring it along the left side body to start. Lengthening that left leg long on the mat and rolling over onto that left side, bringing the right knee to a 90 degree on top of that pillow, bolster, or roller. Bringing the left arm out to the side, perpendicular to that torso, and bringing the right hand up on top. We're coming into a thoracic spine opener here. So on the inhale, keeping the left shoulder on the floor, we're going to bring the right hand up and overhead and bring that right shoulder blade down towards the floor, maintaining that left shoulder blade on the floor. Inhale, arms going to come back up. Exhale, closing it back in. So as each time as we inhale and come up and exhale, open, we're maintaining that stack in those hips as we attempt to bring that right shoulder down towards the floor. Inhale up, exhale open, inhale up, exhale close. Inhale up, exhale open, feeling that nice stretch through that upper back. Let's do one more time on this side. Inhale up and exhale open. Inhale up, exhale close. We'll switch to the opposite side now. Laying flat on that back to start, bringing that pillow, roller, bolster to the right side body. Rolling up onto that right side, stacking those hips. Bending the left knee 90 degrees up onto that pillow. Maintaining the length in that right leg. Right arm is going to come straight out at shoulder height. Left arm comes up on top. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, open. Trying to bring that left shoulder blade down towards the floor. Inhale, up. Exhale, close. Inhale, up. Exhale, open. Inhale, up. Exhale, close. Inhale, up. Exhale, open. Keeping that stack in those hips. Inhale, up. Exhale, close. One more time on this side. And close. Rolling back onto the back. Just bringing that leg off the pillow. And set the pillow aside. And then we're going to roll right over onto our bellies. Bringing our hands under those shoulders. Inhale, pushing up to a kneeling plank. Exhale, sitting back into a child's pose. From inhale here, we're inhaling forward into a kneeling plank. Exhale, bending those elbows, coming down into crocodile. Inhale, pushing back up to that kneeling plank. Exhale, sitting back. Using your own breath, cycling through this cycle of inhale forward, exhale down, inhale up, and exhale back. One more cycle. And we will meet in child's pose. On the next inhale, you're going to come forward to all fours. And then tucking your toes under at the back, pushing those hips up towards the sky as we come into a downward facing dog. I want you to maintain a generous bend in your knees here, pushing those hips skyward, reaching those fingers long on the floor, extending long through those shoulders. We're going to start to pedal the feet here, dropping one heel down towards the mat at a time as we lift the opposite heel up. One more on each side. Then we're going to rise up onto the toes of both feet, pushing up nice and tall, lengthening through those legs, arms, and then drop both heels down towards the mat, coming into the full downward facing dog. Micro bend in those knees, pushing those hips up towards the sky. On the next inhale, you're going to look forward and walk those hands up, or walk those feet, up between the hands towards the front of the mat into a forward fold. Just allowing your head to hang. Nice inhale here. Exhale. On the next inhale, bending those knees, sweeping the arms out to the side, coming reverse swan dive. Hands up overhead. And then exhaling, hands down to heart center and mountain. As we move into our sun salutation series. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, swan dive, coming into forward fold. Inhale, hands come to the floor, stepping the right foot back, stepping the left foot back to meet it in plank. Exhale. Inhale, bend those elbows, coming down towards the mat in crocodile. Exhale, sweeping through to upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck those toes, pushing back into downward facing dog. Inhale, step that right foot forward between the hands, giving it a little boost if you need to. Exhale, step the left foot forward or in forward fold. Inhale, bend those knees, sweeping those arms, reverse swan dive. Exhale, back to mountain. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Inhale, step that left foot back. Step that right foot back to meet it. Inhale, bending those elbows. Exhale, coming through to upward facing dog. Tuck those toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward between the hands. Exhale, right foot comes up to meet it in forward fold. Bending those knees, inhaling those arms up and overhead. Exhale, coming together at heart center. One more time on each side, using your own breath. going to turn to face the long edge of our mat. Bringing hands to hip, heel toe, those feet wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, hinging at the hips. Bringing that chest forward, leading with that chest as we come into a nice straddle pose. Just allowing the hands to come down towards the ground and allowing the head to relax. Feeling a nice stretch through the backs of those legs. Inhaling and exhaling comfortably here. Returning those hands to the hips. Inhale, exhale as we lead with that mid-back, coming all the way back up. Bringing those feet back to center. Dropping those hands down to the side in mountain. The next inhale, bringing both hands up overhead, clasping them overhead. Index fingers pointing up towards the sky. And the next inhale, reaching up, and exhale, we're gonna lean over to the right as we push our hips out towards the left, coming into crescent moon on the right, feeling the stretch down the left side body. Breathing comfortably here, reaching long with those arms. One more inhale and exhale, returning back up overhead. Inhale, reaching up with those arms. Exhale, leaning over to the left this time. Pushing that right hip slightly out towards the right. Feeling a nice stretch through that right side body. Inhale, exhale, bringing those hands back down to our sides. Once again, bringing those hands to the waistline. We're going to walk those feet back out wide once more. This time, feet parallel to the short edges of the mat. Inhale, reaching the crown of the head up towards the sky. Exhale, leading with that chest once again, hinging at those hips, slowly coming into that straddle pose. Bringing both hands down towards the mat. We're going to bring the left hand towards the center of our mat. And on the next inhale, keeping those hips square to the mat, we're going to start to reach that right hand up towards the sky. We bring our gaze upward towards that hand. Coming into a rotated straddle pose. Feeling that opening through the chest. An elongated stretch through that spine. Continuing to breathe comfortably. One more inhale and exhale, slowly coming back to center. From here, we're going to walk our hands over to the right side, rotating that right foot, opening those toes to that short edge of the mat, and dropping that left heel out slightly as the toes rotate in towards center. From here, you're going to bend that come into warrior one on this right side. Nice generous bend in that front knee, making sure your hips are facing forward over that right leg. We're pushing through the outer edge of that left foot, making sure that our weight is evenly distributed through the four corners of that right foot. Inside and outside edge of the heel and inside and outside edge of the ball of the foot. Inhaling and exhaling comfortably, avoiding gripping the floor with the toes of that right foot. One more inhale. Exhale, we're going to open those arms out to shoulder height as we open up into warrior two. Opening up through those hips. Staying nice and upright through that torso. If you're leaning out over that right leg, pull the torso back upright. Gaze coming out over the middle right finger. Inhale, dropping that left arm down the back leg. Right arm coming up overhead into reverse warrior. Feeling a lengthening through that right side body. Continuing to breathe comfortably. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, exhale, we're going to windmill those arms as we come back over that right knee. We're going to rotate on that left foot, coming into a nice lunge position and then dropping that left knee down to the floor and uncurling those left toes so the foot comes flat on the floor. Left hand is coming to the mat on the inside of the right foot. Inhaling, right arm is going to come up overhead. Coming into a nice rotating lunge on this right side. Gaze coming up towards those fingertips, looking skyward. Hips should still be facing down towards the ground. Avoid rotating through those hips. We're opening through that thoracic spine. Exhale, returning that right hand back down to the mat. Curl those left toes under, pushing back up into that lunge. And then stepping the left foot forward to meet the right in a forward fold. Inhale, arms sweep up and overhead and together at heart center in mountain. Good. From here, we're going to open up to that log edge of the mat once again, bringing those feet nice and wide and parallel to the short edges of the mat. Hands coming back to the waistline as we move to the left side body. Inhale, hinging at the hips, leading with the chest, slight bend in those knees. You're going to bring that chest down towards the floor. Just allowing those hands to release from the waist and come down towards the mat. This time we're bringing our right hand to the center of the mat. And on the inhale, starting to rotate towards the left side. Opening up through that chest. Feeling that elongation through that back. Twisting through and mobilizing the thoracic spine. As best you can, bringing that gaze upward towards those fingers. You may notice that it's easier to rotate one side of the body than the other. That is perfectly normal. floor with your toes, keeping weight evenly distributed through the balls of the feet and the heel. One more inhale here. Exhale. Unwinding, returning that left hand down towards the mat. Now we start to walk the hands over to the left side, this time rotating those left toes open to that short edge of the mat. Dropping the right toes in towards center. Heel opens up slightly and we bend that left knee. Inhaling those arms skyward as we come into warrior one on the left side. Making sure that we are squaring off those hips towards the left leg. Applying our pressure through the outer edge of that right foot. Maintaining equal pressure through the 4 points of the left foot. Avoiding gripping that mat with our toes. If it's uncomfortable having your hands up overhead, you can bring them together at heart center or clasp them behind the back. One more inhale here. Exhale, rotating, opening up those arms, opening up those hips. As we come into warrior two on this side, making sure that we bring our torso back upright. If you're leaning out over that left leg, bring it back upright. Arms parallel to the floor. And then we bring our gaze outward over the middle finger of that left hand. Staying relaxed through those shoulders, keeping those shoulder blades pulled back and down. One more inhale. Exhale, dropping that right arm down towards the left for the right leg. Left hand comes up overhead as we come into reverse warrior. Gaze coming skyward, looking up towards those fingertips. Inhale, exhale, windmilling those arms up and over as we come down to the floor again, pivoting on that right foot, dropping the right knee down to the ground and uncurling those toes. Right hand comes to the mat inside the left foot. Inhale, sweeping the left hand up overhead, bringing that gaze upward towards the fingertips, hips still pointing down towards the mat. As we once again mobilize that thoracic spine. Opening up through that chest and elongating through the back. Inhale, exhale, unwinding, bringing that hand back down towards the mat. Curl those left toes under, pushing up into that lunge. This time we're going to step that left foot back and meet in downward facing dog. Lengthening through those arms, micro bend in those knees, and we'll just hang out here for a few breaths. Nice big inhale, sigh it all out. Inhale, sigh it all out. Inhale once more, and sigh it all out. On the next inhale, and then exhale, we're going to drop our knees down towards the floor as we come into tabletop all fours position. On the next inhale, reaching the right arm out towards the side, and then exhale, reaching through under the left arm, becoming to thread the needle, stretching through the back of the shoulders on the right side. Just pushing those hips upward towards the ceiling, bending that left elbow down towards the mat. One more inhale. Exhale, coming back to that tabletop position. Next inhale, left arm comes out to the side. Exhale, reaching through under the right arm this time. As you bend that right elbow down towards the mat, pushing those hips up towards the ceiling. Reaching the left arm long through that body, feeling a nice stretch to the back of the left shoulder. Inhale, exhale, coming back to that tabletop position. Just going to sit back onto those heels here and sit off to one side, swiveling those legs out in front of us as we come into a staff position. So sitting up nice and tall on those sits bones, reaching the crown of the head up towards the sky. Toes pointed up and back towards the head. Inhaling and exhaling. Next inhale, going to bend that right knee and pull that right heel in towards the buttocks. And we're going to reach that left arm around the right knee, bringing the right hands behind the hips. On the inhale, we're going to lengthen, reaching the crown of the head up high. And exhale, we're going to rotate over that right leg, avoiding pulling with the arm. You want to use that core to rotate as you come to look over that right shoulder. Lengthen, exhale, rotate. One more inhale, exhale, we're going to unravel and lengthen that right leg long on the floor again. Just give them a little shake. And on the next exhale, bringing the left heel in towards the buttocks, sitting up nice and tall. Inhaling and exhaling. And then grabbing a hold of that left knee with the right elbow. Bringing the left hands behind the hips. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through that spine, and then exhaling, rotating. Once again, avoiding pulling with that arm. Rotating through those shoulders and core. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rotate. One more inhale, exhale, unraveling at the shoulders, chest and core, and lengthening that left leg long on the mat again, giving it a little shake. From here, you're gonna just lift those hips off the floor, sliding them towards the head of your mat, grabbing a hold behind one knee, sitting up nice and tall, and then slowly rolling back. So you're long on the floor. Knees still remaining bent. We're going to come into a bridge pose here. So the arms are long at your sides, hands down by the buttocks. Bringing those heels in close to the buttocks. Feet are about hip width apart. Allowing the knees to collapse inward or to fall outward. Staying nice and strong as we begin to move into our bridge pose. First thing I want you to do is tuck that pelvis up towards your chin as you lengthen the spine long along the ground. Then, maintaining that pelvic tilt, squeezing those glutes nice and tight. You're going to start to lift those hips up off the floor, coming into that bridge pose. Pushing through those heels, you should be able to lift those toes up off the floor, squeezing tight into those glutes. You can stay here if you're comfortable, or if you'd like to join me, I'm going to tuck the shoulder blades under the back and clasp those hands down under the buttocks. Still squeezing through those glutes, keeping that pelvis tucked up towards the chin. And making sure that those knees are not collapsing inward or falling out. One more inhale here. Exhale, you're going to release those hands and untuck those shoulders. And slowly, 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 still maintaining that pelvic tilt, squeezing those glutes, you're going to start to lower back down to the floor, one vertebrae at a time. Once you've come all the way down, releasing. You're going to pull those knees in towards the chest. Just give them a little squeeze. Rock side to side, massage out that lower back. Good. And then from here, bringing the hands back down to the floor, bringing them to a T. Out at shoulder height, still holding those knees up in towards the chest. You're going to slowly drop them over to the right, keeping those shoulder blades, both sides, still down on the floor as we come into a supine spinal twist. If you need to, if you cannot bring those knees right down to the floor, you can use the yoga block or that pillow we used back in the beginning to just support those knees. Bringing our gaze over towards the left fingertips. Feeling that nice stretch through the back. One more inhale. Exhale, bringing that gaze back up towards the ceiling as we bring our knees back towards center once again. Inhale and exhale. And then on the next inhale, dropping the knees over to the left this time. Using that pillow if you need to. And dropping the gaze over towards the right fingertips. Making sure both shoulder blades are still down on the ground. One more inhale. Exhale, gaze coming back up to the ceiling as we return those knees skyward. And then dropping the feet down to the ground. We're getting ready for our final relaxation here, so if you do want to grab a blanket, some socks, or a sweater on, now is the time to do so. When you are ready, coming long on your mat, hands and arms down at the sides, palms facing upward, legs long on the mat, just allowing those ankles to fall open wherever they are comfortable. As we start to fully relax, allowing the ground to support the weight of our body. Relaxing the fingers, the toes, relaxing the ankles and the feet, the calves, the knees, allowing the thighs to just relax and our hips sink down into the ground. Belly relaxes, chest, shoulders, fingers and hands, arms, jaw and lips. Eyes are closed, forehead relaxes, the head just sinks into the ground. Allowing yourself to breathe comfortably here. As we return to where we began, bringing our focus inward and remembering why we came to practice today. Revisiting that intention as we fully relax. here. Starting to wiggle those toes, move those feet, wiggling those fingers and hands. Start to move those legs a little bit and those arms. When you are ready, bringing right arm up alongside the body and rolling over onto that right side. Just pausing for a moment here. And when you are ready, coming to sit in a comfortable cross-legged position. Sitting up on those sits bones. Just bringing those hands to the tops of those knees. I'd like to thank you for joining me in your yoga practice today. If you are looking for some more yoga videos or even weighted circuits or body weight workouts, please check out our social media accounts at PSP Kingston. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and our videos are being posted on YouTube. So I'll bring our hands together at heart center as we close our practice today. May the light that shines within me shine within you. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me.
PSP Kingston, the health and wellness provider for the military community.